Hello everyone, this is Eagle and welcome back to Steel Division 2. So today we are gonna discuss our first US Armored Division, which is called the 3rd Armored, or the Spearhead. So, it's mentioned here that this division suffered lots of casualties in Hedgerow Hill and also during the fighting in St. Louis. However, it was finally able to break through during Operation Cobra. The division has wide varieties of Sherman tanks, starting from medium Shermans and ending with the heavily armored jumbo Sherman. It can also rely on heavy artillery, as it has some accurate towed artillery guns. The division has also some good air support from the B-51s, Mustangs and B-47s. Also, interestingly enough, it's mentioned here that this division is best utilized to its full effect when it's used as combined arms, as it has the capability to rapidly advance and deal with any potential threat. So that is what is mentioned here about the 3rd Armored Division. Of course, I did a little research about the 3rd Armored Division, and there are lots of information available on the internet related to this division in particular, and I have included some good sources in the description. Please feel free to check them out. So basically, the 3rd Armored Division was formed on 15th of April 1941, and interesting fact that this division actually was transferred from the old game Steel Division 44. So it was not part of the Soviet front, it was in France, but that's also fine. The division actually nicknamed Spearhead, and that's because it was used as a spearhead for the 1st Army in Normandy. And because of that, the 3rd Armored actually saw the most combat and suffered from the most casualties. And that's in comparison to the other 15 US divisions in Europe during that time. The division did indeed fight in major important battles, and I found all what is mentioned here about this division is actually pretty accurate. So guys, let's move in and see how did we build the 3rd US Armored Division. So, the 3rd Armored Spearhead Division. I have to say that I had lots of fun playing this division in particular. I played lots of games with it, and I can say that this is one of the most fun divisions to play with in the game. I had also lots of epic games using this division, in which I will upload later, but I will not include these games in this video because they were very long. Some of them passed 1 hour. But anyway, the game also, which I will share in this video, is very good. But before that, let's see how did we configure this division. Let's jump into the Recon tab. So in the Recon tab, this division has lots of light armored cars, like the M8s. And this is actually one of the division's strength, so that's why I use these 2 cars from these in Phase A, and I also used the M5A1 Recon tank. It has some also infantry, but not that good, so I did not use these. One of the weakness about this division is actually the infantry tab. It doesn't have much slots, so you need to think carefully while choosing infantry. So as we can see, only 5 slots in the infantry tab, which of course is not good. I mean, this is a major weakness for this division. However, I tried to do my best to have the best number that I can get out of these slots. So I bought one LMG rifles, which basically has 2 Browning and 1 M1 Grand, an 8 M1 Grand, and it has a strength of 10, so it's good as a long and medium range unit. And I bought these in Phase A, and I bought another card from Army Rifles that they have M1 carbines and they have M1 Grand as well as bazookas. and these can work good in medium range. I couldn't add any engineers here or pioneers because of the slots, of course. Then in phase B, I also had one of the army rifles, which can work in medium range, and also one of the engineers squad, which are basically pioneers that can fight well in close combat. And then I had to save for the phase C the best unit in this division, which is basically the army rifles with bar, and they also have bazookas. So this division can work in long and medium range, and it also has some good Thompsons in close combat. And with this setup, I was able actually to have 72 infantry unit, and I believe this is the best setup that you can get with this division in the infantry tab, but some people might set up this differently. After that, we don't actually have more cards. The only thing we have here are the leaders, and we do have one card left from engineers. Then tank tab, which is the best about this division. You have lots of varieties. Of course, all of them are Sherman and Stuarts. So I have one card here from the M4A1 Commander tank, and then I put one card from the 76mm M4A1, which has a good gun basically, and it has a slightly better armor than the normal M4A1 Sherman. And then I bought the Jumbo, the M4A3 Easy 2, which is basically the Jumbo tank, as they call it. And the best thing about this tank that it has a very good frontal armor. Doesn't have very good gun, but it does have the best armor maybe in the game. It has a frontal armor of 190mm, so it can sustain lots of damage. So I used one of these also in phase A. In phase B, I bought the M4A1 76mm, and I used the M4A3 75mm in phase C, and this gave me a 15 tank. So as we can see here, I tried to compensate the infantry with lots of Shermans, and that is the best thing that this division can do, basically, is to spam Shermans. I know that some people even might go beyond that and have more tanks than I did, but this is how I configured it. And I did very well with that setup in lots of games. Moving to the support tab, so I put two cards of the flamethrower teams, because as we know, the infantry slots are very less in this division, and I did not have very good close combat units, so that's why I used two cards of flamethrowers in phase A. And then I used one card from this HMG, or what they call the 50 cal heavy machine gun, in phase A as well. And I tried to have better support, because as I said, we don't have good infantry, so we need a better support or better tank support. And that's when the M4105 tank comes into play, because this tank is very good against infantry and against emplacement, basically. It has HE shells, and it has a range of 2000 meters, so it can basically destroy anything from far. I used one card from this in phase A and another card in phase B. The one which is in phase B has, I believe, a better gun. It actually has the same 105 HE shells, but it has 4 more heat shells that can be used, which is something good. I also added one commander, and of course supply trucks, and that's it basically for the support tab. There are other choices that someone might go with, like the M8 Scott, And this is also a good support tank, but it has a range of 1500 meters, so that's why I just prefer to use the normal Sherman, especially that the price of the support Sherman is not that high. And other than this, we have some commander tanks, but nothing actually here worth to be added more than this. Moving to the anti-tank tab, and here we have lots of anti-tank guns, which is something cool in a tank division. I mean, you don't find that usually in tank divisions that they have AT support, but we do here. We have the M1 57mm and the M5 76mm, and both do good during the fight. And we do have, of course, the M10 A1 tank destroyers, and these are pretty good, but the problem with them that they have only 2 shells as ABCR with range of 2 kilometers, but after that a normal gun that can have penetration up to 130mm, which is not so cool, but they can be useful, so that's why I took 1 card of this. And I have 1 bazooka team here in phase A, just to help against also heavier tanks. So this division can actually work good against other divisions that rely on medium and light tanks, but of course you will struggle a bit in fighting against heavier tanks like the King Tiger or even the Tiger or IS-2s in case if you ran into Soviets. But anyway, it has good composition of tanks. In anti-air, also this tab is a bit weak here, but it has good choices. Like you can use the buffers, which what I did in phase A, and then I coupled it with the M16 anti-air. And some people might use the M15, which is basically like the buffer but mobile. And then moving to the artillery tab, and we do have some really good choices here, and especially this one, M21, the 81 mobile mortar. And I have seen lots of people rely on these too much in many games, and they are pretty effective to the level of being OB, if I can say. So they are really good to have. Of course they are a bit expensive, they cost 105 point, but again these are much better than any normal artillery. So I used 1 card in phase A, and I added a leader card in phase B because I couldn't add these in infantry tab, and another card of the artillery or the mortar artillery in phase B. Then I added off-map artillery M4A1, which is basically a tank, but observer tank basically that can have off-map artillery, 155mm. And then I added this M1 long tom, the 155mm artillery, which is pretty heavy artillery with good rate of fire. It has 8 rounds per minute, and I have it vetted, so it provides you with 10 rounds per minute, and it's pretty accurate. So it's basically a must-have in this division. So I added 2 of these in phase C in case the game extended long and you needed artillery. And I have to say that I benefited a lot from this artillery pieces in lots of games. We do also have the Calliope, but I didn't use that one. This might be better used in 10 versus 10 setup, but in 1 versus 1 this is the best I could take for artillery. We do also have a mobile 155mm howitzers, But as I said, and we do have also the M7s, the Beasts. So yeah, lots of choices for artillery here. But anyway, moving to the air tab. And the air tab here need to be chosen wisely. It's a bit tricky. You have good recon and fighters, but this F6C comes with very less availability. So I did not use this one. I choose to use the B-51 Mustangs. So I took one card in phase A, and then I also took one card from the same B-51s in phase A, which are light bombers. And I used the B-26 heavy bombers in phase B that provides me with actually two planes. They carry 4 bombs, 454 kilograms. There is another variant from this one which carries 20 bombs with 45 kilo HE bombs, but I have to say the less number the bombs are, the better, because they get heavier. And when you get such a plane with 20 bombs like this, they get spread all over the place and they do less damage. So it's better to use the ones which have the heavy bombs, even if they have less numbers of bombs. And yeah, that's basically it. There is the B-51D here, and there is the F6C, and nothing more. Interestingly enough, I read in the description that this division has the B-47s, but I don't see the B-47s here. So it might have been missed by Eugene. So yeah, it's all B-51s and this bombers. Anyway, this is how we set up this division. And as I said, I had very cool games with this division, and the next game is actually very good. So let's move in and see this game. So everyone, this is the game. This is one of the good games against one of the top players in the Steel Division in the ranked leaderboard. And he's playing on the right side and I am playing on the left side. I'm not sure about his name though. It sounds like either Japanese or Chinese, I'm not sure. But anyway, that doesn't matter. The game was really good. So we already started deploying our troops. Started with some infantry and bazooka on the left side. Same on the middle with an 80 gun. Also some flamethrowers and some rifles here, riflemen here. He also started deploying his units here. Nothing unusual. And I also started placing some M8s, which is, as I mentioned before, this is one of the biggest strengths about this division. It has some good light armor. So we are waiting for the game to start. Every one of us has deployed already his troops. I am relying on light armor as well as infantry and bazookas and some flamethrowers. At the same time, my opponent is also deploying some of the fast units like the flamethrowers. And here we go, the game has started. He's playing the 352 Infantry Division, which is an Axis division. And I am playing, of course, with the third armor. So I'm pushing fast to the middle. Trying to deploy flamethrowers and bazooka just to take control of this place. And yes, I was able to destroy some of his moving units. He lost 3 units, which is something good. In here also we did the same. We destroyed all of his units. So that's the advantage basically of the M8. I did a rush just to control these areas. The M8 also did the same here. In here I was not the same. I did not have the same luck. But I was able at least to hold and destroyed lots of his SBWs. He right away deployed a fighter bomber trying to destroy what he can here. But I have the full control over this area now. He has a recon and an infantry. Okay, I took him by surprise at the start. He certainly did not expect this fast attack or fast rush. So that's why I was able to get control. But let's see if he can rebalance this again or not. Okay, he has an anti-tank gun here, and he will destroy the M3. Yes. So he's trying to encircle these units here and push more troops. On this side, I'm trying to attack the Marder using the M8, but it was not successful. Here I lost my M5 Stuart, and probably because of this gun or this Marder, I'm not sure. So I have no protection here. I have a good anti-air though, protecting this area. And right away I deployed the B-51 Mustang for the bomber, but he was able to escape. So fighting now is in all fronts. He's trying to regain control of this forest and trying to counter me on the center to get back the flag. And at the same time he's pushing here, and I am trying to gain control of the north. So intense fight on all fronts now, which makes it very hard. Okay, I'm pushing the M8. I lost one thanks to his anti-tank rifle. And his support of the SBW light armor. So I should be able to take this one. In the middle, he is still pushing more infantry, and I have advanced my 80 gun here. He lost lots of units to the 80 guns and to the advancing troops. In the north, he has full control over this flag, but I am trying to push a 76 millimeter Sherman. Let's see if we can actually do something about this Marder here. Okay, he keep losing units in the middle to the anti-tank guns, which is not good. But so far we have both the same number of flags, and that's because he has control over this flag and this flag, while I have control over these two flags. So that basically balanced this. Okay, the SBW in front of the 57 mil, and it's gone. Now we can advance our units here and take full control of the south. Okay, those M8s are doing really some cool job. Okay, he's trying to target the B-51 Mustang using the BF-109, and he is successful. He was in the right time. So he was able also to escape. Here I lost my Sherman, probably also because of the Marder. So he's able to put full control on this, but I'm also able to push in the south. Here is another attack by the BF-109. And he did not withdraw. I think this is a mistake. But I'm not sure though if the anti-air will be able to destroy it. On the center, he deployed a mortar now, and this mortar is targeting all my troops in the middle. And heavy fight in this village also, or city. He's trying to push a 37mm here to target my tanks. Let's see if this is gonna work. In the south now I have full control. There is one anti-tank gun here, but it's not in range. Actually, the Stuart can destroy it, and it is not in range. And he also deployed a Lieg. And here I am pushing hard on the center just to keep him busy. And I have pushed more infantry here, trying to take control of this area. So fighting, heavy fighting in the south, sorry, in the center and in the north. Three infantry units moving forward. I think they can make a difference. Okay, this 57mm, I think it can destroy this Panzer B2, and yes, it did. I'm also stacking some tanks here, trying to advance against this Marder, which has a really some advantageous position here, destroying whatever comes on this road. Still, I'm not able to take control of this city, but I'm advancing some units here. So let's see if I can maybe take control. And he lost his unit here. I have to say he lost lots of units just during the transport. So I think he was trying to deploy them as close as possible to the front. Right now I have 13 flag, and he has only 11 flags. Okay, this M8 and M5 Stuart are actually doing good. Trying to suppress his infantry here. And I have deployed the 81mm mortar. The plan is to target his mortar here. Another plane attack. targeting the MG actually, but luckily the 57mm was not destroyed. And he withdrew right away. So far I'm doing a good push. 13 flag to 11. Now started spamming lots of fighter bombers, which is becoming annoying. So I need to do something about it. That's why I started now deploying anti-air as much as I can. These are fast planes and maybe fighters will not be able to catch them. Still heavy fight in the middle. I'm trying to get control over this flag here. Still a hard job to do. Okay, this is Stostrop. It's powerful. It's more powerful than these units. It is close combat unit, so this MG also is doing lots of suppression to my units here. Okay, I'm gonna lose this engineer. Okay, I was able to disembark. Nothing in the south now, I have full control. But in the center, he's losing lots of units, and we are now in phase B. Both of us are playing balanced, by the way. So that shouldn't be a problem for my opponent. Okay, he is advancing Panzer B2 and Stug 3. And I have no tanks here, 0 tanks in the middle. Finally, I am slowly pushing in this area, and I destroyed the marder here. So hopefully we can just take back this control. This flag. Now deploying the heavy bombers, and I think I'm targeting the mortars, the mortar and the 80 gun, and I was able to take down the 80 gun. Another bush in this area. So far this is going good. We are pushing hard, not giving any opportunity to counter. But those air spam are too much. And I have lost lots of units thanks to these fighter bombers. Here we have the 76mm Sherman fighting this Panzerjäger 47mm, but we also have the Stug here flanking our units. So this is a bad ambush for this Sherman. It's being fired from both sides. Of course it will not hold. At least we got one of his Panzerjäger. But of course we lost the Sherman. Another M8 coming this way. Stug is targeting these infantry here. He's trying to push hard, and I think he lost hope in the south, so nothing is being done on the south now, so most of the focus are in the center and the north. So lots of tanks here, Stug and Panzerjäger, and here also another Stug and Panzer B2. But I do have better tanks, to be honest, and now I have 15 flag and he has only 9, so it looks like this game will be lost unless he does something right now to regain control. So a big push here, retaking this flag. And here we go, the back 40 is also targeting these units. So he has a good chance here retaking that flag back, but I'm not sure about the center though. I have 2 anti-tank guns here and I'm targeting this Stug. There is a flag V also coming, and this flag V is not so good against air units anymore. It used to be fantastic, but it's now underperforming in the game. It can do some damage to the infantry though. Wow, 3 blames at the same time. Yeah, but I was able to suppress one of them at least. Advancing the M5 Recon here, trying to flank him. This M5 gun, 76mm, is there here to avoid enabling his tanks to advance. Okay, 76mm coming for the Stug in particular. He realized that I'm trying to flank now, so he's targeting the steward. Probably I should get back or withdraw. As I said before, this mortar is really doing some cool job. I destroyed one of his mortars here and he has another. Okay, that's what I did here. I withdraw the Recon tank, but the Sherman now destroys the Stug. 15 flag to 9. 8 minutes to go. So more efforts need to be done here to stop this advance. And here we go, an off-map artillery also to make things more worst for him. Okay, the 76mm is targeting the back 40. Just to enable this area to be open for tanks, because I lost many tanks here to the anti-tank weapons. Okay, and this M4 105 is gonna finish the job, I think. And at this time he decides to escape or to surrender. So basically it was already lost. The game was pretty much lost for him. So yeah, the kills are near, almost 1745 and 1365. Let's see. So this bazooka did some really good job here, destroying lots of units at the start of the game. Flamethrower, The M8s, of course. The M8s is one of the major advantage of this third armor, and mostly all the US divisions and allied divisions have the M8s, and lots of people are rushing using these at the start. People are even doing this at a worst pace. Sometimes they just do a concentrated spam of M8s, and they get away with it sometimes. But anyway, M8 was able to take also his light vehicle, because he also had light vehicles rushing, like the SPW, but the M8 is much better. Again, the M8 here destroyed lots of units. I would say the M8 is the hero of this game. Okay, the 57 mil destroyed lots of tanks. Another 57 mil destroyed 2 Marders. So yeah, the anti-tank also did some good job. This Sherman was able to take the Marder finally, and I think this was in the north, and also it took one of the back 36. And this also Sherman took Ashtug and a Panzer B2. Other than this, nothing is really unusual. And here, the losses, let's see. Mainly from the Marders, because he had 2 Marders in the north. They were causing lots of trouble. And also the Blaines, mostly, because the Blaines did good job. This Toshtrop was able to kill lots of units. It's a very good unit in close combat. The League did some damage. Panzer B2 was able to destroy the M5A1 Stuart. And other than this, nothing really unusual. This was a very good game, and it showcased the 3rd Armored Division. But as I said, I had plenty of games using the 3rd Armored Division, and some of them are really epic games, which I am planning to post or upload soon. Please stay tuned for this. As for now, thanks everyone for watching, and see you in future games.